This summer, Chris and I set out to use as little sunscreen as possible, but still get outside. The best alternative method that we found to be able to accomplish that goal was wearing sun hoodies. So we reached out to as many companies as we could. We wanted to get as many of these on hand as possible, and after months of testing, we've got our recommendation for you. We're gonna go through 6 different sun hoodies and let you know which one we think is the best. Welcome everybody to the Sonsofsever YouTube channel, where there's no such thing as bad weather, only bad gear. As mentioned before, today we're talking about sun hoodies. We've got 6 different hoodies that we want to talk about, and Chris and I are gonna go back and forth talking about different ones, and at the end of it, we're gonna let you know which one is our favorite. If sun hoodies aren't a new concept for you, go ahead and look at the timestamps down in the description of the video, and you can jump ahead to whichever one you want to see. But if sun hoodies are a new term for you, basically it's just a very lightweight, hopefully UPF 50 plus hoodie that's going to protect you from the sun but allow you to stay cool as well throughout the summer months. A big question for us was like, can we really wear a hoodie all summer long? And the answer that we found for the most part was yes, these things do a really good job, especially if you're pairing them with being on the water. We'll talk about that a little bit more, but we did find that this was a really good way to use as little sunscreen as possible. You can wear these in warmer weather, maybe even hot weather, depending on the hoodie that you choose, and they're gonna protect you from the sun, and they're gonna do a pretty decent job at keeping you cool as well. So let's jump into it. I'm gonna send it over to Chris to talk about the first one.
First hoodie that I'm going to talk about is the rayon hoodie from Koofin. As the name suggests, this thing is made of 95% rayon, which is a bamboo extract, and 5% spandex, which gives it a really nice stretch. Talking about some of the things that I really like about the hoodie, I think it's fantastic for casual wear. It looks really good. I really enjoy the fit of it as well. With how light it is, it works fantastic in the gym. I also think that the thumb hole construction is very well thought out. And lastly, I really like how the hoodie performs. It's one of the hoods that if you're running or jogging or boating, biking, or paddling, the hood's not going to get blown off of your head. The one thing I don't like so much about the Koofin is how it handles water. It does not dry very quickly, which usually sun hoodies are optimized for that because they're going to be used in a lot of water activities. And the last thing I don't like about it is it's almost too light, and what I mean by that is when I'm jogging or doing anything bouncy with it, it tends to bounce up and down and show a little bit more skin than I would like. But overall, I actually really like this thing. It's one of my favorite hoodies to wear casually.
The first hoodie that I'm going to talk about is the one that I'm wearing right now. This is actually from REI. This is the Sahara Shade Sun Hoodie. It retails at $49.95, which is actually one of the better prices of all the sun hoodies that we've gotten to try out this summer. There's a few things that I really like about it. The first one is the material. It's 92% polyester, it's 8% spandex, and it does a really good job at keeping you cool. The thing that I think I like most about it though is the cut. I think this one translates really well into your everyday wardrobe, and for that reason I ended up wearing it a lot throughout the summer. The thumb holes on it are decent enough. There's nothing really special about them. They work just fine. The only thing that I don't like about this hoodie is the hood itself. It probably performs the worst of all the hoodies that we tried out this summer. So all you have to do is walk briskly and this thing is gonna blow off your head. And it's kind of interesting. It's like they noticed that and they thought maybe we should put a cinching system into it. It has right there a little string for you to cinch, but there's no way to secure it. Like you can pull it out and you'd have to pull it out really far, and then I guess you could like tie a knot right there and that would cinch it down. But I thought that it was weird that it wasn't 2 separate ones that you could then tie together, because that just makes the knot tying more difficult, and it really just doesn't work for me. So the only bummer about this one, I would say, is the way that the hood performs. Back over to Chris to talk about the next one.
Next hoodie that I'm going to be talking about is from a company called Field Shear. This hoodie is 92% recycled polyester and 8% spandex. It actually dries pretty well, and the hood does a really good job at staying on during all of your activities. Some of the things I really like about this hoodie, it's probably one of the most cool ones to wear because the entire back and the armpits are sublimated. I also think that the thumb holes, while not my favorite, do work pretty well. Some of the things that I don't like about this hoodie: one, I wish they had some more color options. That's kind of a nitpicky detail from me. The second one is it just doesn't seem to fit quite as well or quite as comfortably as some of the other hoodies. If they could clean up the fit just a little bit, the other features of this hoodie are really, really nice.
Just wanted to take a moment here to mention one of the affiliates that we have going on with the channel right now. Something that's going to pair really awesome with a sun hoodie, and that's a really good pair of sunglasses. So we're honored to work with this company called Frontline Optics. It was founded by a guy who's been in emergency services for 10 years. They make really great, really quality sunglasses. So we got a pair of casual glasses from them that both of us have really been enjoying, as well as a very nice pair of sport sunglasses that we've been using for runs. Then the really cool thing about Frontline Optics is that a portion of all of their sales goes towards this charity that benefits kids who have lost parents in the line of duty. So again, this is a company that we're really honored to work with. We think that they make good quality stuff and they have a really great cause behind their business. So go ahead and check them out. All of our affiliate links are in the description of the video. Next up for me are a couple hoodies from a company called Wind Riders. So we got the Helios, which is what I'm wearing, and the Atoll models from them. The big difference between the two is on the Atoll, there is a pocket on the back of the hoodie. Mine was black, so it's hard to see, so I opened up the zipper for you right there. But just along the back of the hoodie, you have that pocket. That does make a little bit of a price difference. So the Helios comes in at $45, the Atoll is $50, and they're both made of the same material. It's 92% polyester and 8% elastane. So there's a few things that we really like about these hoodies, and I think the big one is the material itself. When you put it on, it's noticeably cool, and it does a really good job drying and keeping you cool if you're pairing it with being on the water. So one thing that I love to do this summer was take these to the pool, and I would jump in with it on, and then I'd get out and go sit in my lounge chair to watch the kids, and as it dried, that water evaporates off of you. It keeps the material cool, and it kept me cool as well. I didn't need shade or anything like that. I could just sit there with the hoodie on and just let it dry, and I stayed cool that way. So these ones do a really good job when you're pairing them with being on the water. The hoods on these ones work pretty well. I'd say they're kind of middle grade. They can take a little bit more wind than the REI hoodie can, but they're definitely not the best. We do like the built-in gaiters though. So we took these hoodies out with us on our 8-mile stand-up paddle across Utah Lake, and the bugs were out like crazy that day. They were just all over us. So we really appreciated the fact that we could just use these gaiters to keep them off of our face, to keep them out of our nose and out of our mouth. That's a feature on these that we really enjoyed. There are a couple of things that we don't like about them. The first one is no thumb holes, and I feel like that's an important feature on a sun hoodie, and mainly because if I'm wearing this, that means I'm not putting on sunscreen. I'm gonna totally space it and completely forget. And without the thumb hole, then the sleeves tend to slide down, and let's say we're out stand-up paddleboarding with your hands in this position for a long time, top of your hands are gonna get sunburned. So I really appreciate the fact that the ones that have thumb holes keep that sleeve up and over your hand like that. So we'd like to see that in a future model. We've heard that they could be coming down the line. And the second thing is just the cut. It's a little bit baggier. It doesn't translate into your everyday wardrobe as well as the others. But overall, we feel like these ones perform pretty well, especially for the price point that they're at. Back over to Chris for his next one.
The last hoodie that I'm going to talk about is the Mustang Survival Apollos hoodie. It is 100% recycled polyester. It handles water really, really well compared to all the other hoodies that we tried, and the hood itself stays up really nicely no matter what the activity is that you're doing. I find myself reaching for this thing a lot. Some of the reasons why: I think it's one of the best fitting and best looking hoodies of all of the different ones that we've tried so far. I also love the thumb hole construction. I think it's the best thumb hole construction of all the hoodies as well. And even the thing that I don't like about this hoodie is a strength that it has. I would consider this hoodie a jack of all trades, but master of none. What I mean by that is this is going to keep you pretty cool in the warmer weather, but only up to a certain point. And then because it's not as well ventilated as some other options, it may make you a little bit hotter. On the other end of the spectrum is where it shows its versatility. If it's on the chillier side of the weather, this thing is going to keep you relatively warm without overheating you. But it's obviously not a winter weight hoodie, so that's only going to go so far. I actually don't know what Eric's pick is quite yet for all of these hoodies, but this is my top pick for this pool of hoodies that we've worked so far. I would highly recommend the Mustang Survival Apollos hoodie. Now let's send things back over to Eric so that he can talk about the last hoodie in our lineup.
The last one that I'm going to be talking about today comes from a company called Gills. This is the Pro Series UV hoodie, and as far as I'm concerned, this is actually the best performer of all the hoodies that we got to try out this summer. So it is 100% Gills Tech polyester. I don't know exactly what the Gills Tech means, but it's a polyester material, and it comes in at $80. It's got UPF 50 plus sun protection on it. So pretty standard as far as sun hoodies go. Now there are quite a few things that I really like about this hoodie, so let's get into those. I think it does a great job at keeping you cool. The material feels good on your body, it dries well, just like the other ones that are made out of polyester, but they took it an extra step further and they put in these sublimated meshy panels. So that goes all the way along the bottom of your arm and down the whole length of the hoodie. And the built-in gaiter on this model as well is that sublimated mesh material. So we really liked that about it. You know, if there's any breeze out, you can really feel that coming through. And it really helps to keep you cool as you're wearing a hooded shirt in the beating sun. The hood on this one performs really well. It was one of the better hoods for us. You could get going pretty fast and the wind could be blowing pretty hard before it would blow it off of your head. There are two things that we didn't like about this hoodie quite as much. And the first one is the thumb holes. We do have a full review of this hoodie and you can get to it by clicking on that card in the corner there. And the big thing that we talked about there was the thumb hole construction on this one. We're just kind of concerned that it's not going to last very long. If you look at it there, it's got those really big loops, and I've just been worried with the way that that stitching is that it's going to catch on something and get destroyed that way. So we do like that it has thumb holes. We don't think that they've been implemented the best out of all of the hoodies. And the second thing is just the cut. We're not huge fans of the way that it looks. I don't think that it translates into your everyday wardrobe super well. It's got this really hard angle at the back where the front panel of the hoodie is 2 inches shorter than the back panel of the hoodie, which I thought was an interesting choice. I'm just not quite sure what the benefit to that is. And I just wish that this one looked a little bit better. And if it did, then it probably would have been my favorite hoodie for the whole summer. Again, with the way that it performs awesome. I used it a lot because of that. I just wasn't completely sold on the way that it's cut. And with that, that wraps up the 6 different brands of sun hoodies that we were able to try this summer. We really hope this information was valuable to you. Let us know down in the comments which one you think looks like it would work the best for you. We'd be interested to hear what everybody thinks about the hoodies that we presented today. Chris talked about it just barely, but I would have to agree with him that the Mustang Survival hoodie was my favorite one, and I think the best one that we got to use this summer. So with that one, it performs super well. The hood on it, I think, performs the best out of all the other hoods. The thumb holes were implemented really, really well, and the cut on it, I think, looks the best too. So we really like the Mustang Survival hoodie. We're picking it as the winner for this batch. Again, let us know down in the comments what you think about that. I'm gonna send it back over to Chris now so that he can give you the wrap up for the video.
As you just heard from Eric, we ended up agreeing that the Mustang Survival Apollos hoodie was our favorite of this pool of sun hoodies. That's not to say that we don't like the other offerings that we talked about. We definitely do, and we would recommend them as well, especially if you liked them better based on anything we said than this specific hoodie. Now is actually a fantastic time for you to scoop up a sun hoodie, because as we go into the cooler seasons, all these companies are going to be trying to offload their sun hoodies. One example is the Field Shear hoodie. It is currently on sale for 50% off. Folks, if you liked this video and it was helpful for you, go ahead and like and subscribe. We always appreciate it when people head down to the links in the description to check out all of the fantastic outdoor and adventure gear companies that we have partnered with. If you want more content from us, make sure to go and follow us on Instagram, where we are posting pretty consistently about the new gear that we're being sent to test in our outdoor adventures. Another place where you can follow along with us to get more content like that is on Strava. There, we are trying to build a community of outdoor enthusiasts. On Strava, you can track all of your outdoor activities, and you can even track what gear you're using during those activities and see how many miles you put on shoes and things like that. Follow us there, we'll follow you back, and we will continue to build this fantastic outdoor community. Thanks for watching. We appreciate your view, and as always, we will catch you in the mountains.